students, today we are going to start with a new grammar topic, that is non-finite verbs. In your exam, they will ask you, fill in the blank with suitable non-finite verb. So you should know what are non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are of three types. They are infinitives, participles and gerund. Today we are going to see each non-finite verb in detail. Let's start. First one, infinitive. Infinitive here is nothing but two form of the verb. Here you have to keep in mind in your exam, if they ask you to fill in the blank with infinitive or rewrite the sentence using infinitive. So you have what you have to do, you have to just pick up the verb in the sentence and you have to write two form of that verb. Two form of the verb means what? You have to keep the verb in its root form. You don't have to add ing to it or ed to it. Anything you don't have to add. You have to just write the verb into root form and add to it. Like for example, he wants him to bring a book. He is too tired to walk to the station. I told the servant to open the door. When the word to is used before the verb, it is known as what? To form of the verb, and it is what? Infinitive. That you have to just keep in mind. Next one, participle. Participles are of two types, present participle and past participle. First we are going to see present participle. Present participle denotes an incomplete action. It always ends in ing. For example, I can hear her singing a song. In this sentence, the ing is added to the verb sing and it indicates incomplete action. The rushing boy knocked down the apple cart. Here, the rushing, word rushing is used, word rush is used with ing and it indicates incomplete action. Here, in present participle, word having and being can also be used. It is mainly used while you are changing the complex sentence into a simple sentence. Now, for example, the sentence can be, he finished his work, he went to play. They'll give you two clauses are there in the sentence. He finished his work, he went to play, and they ask you to change the sentence into a simple sentence. So what you will do, you will just use the absolute phrase having. Like having finished his work, he went to play. Now the weather is fine, I went for a walk. Two sentences are there. Now if they ask you to change the sentence into a simple sentence, you can write the weather being fine, I went for a walk. So here the absolute phrase having and being are also comes under participles here. Now next one, past participle. Past participle denotes an action which is completed. It usually ends with T, D, N, En, Ed. Like terrified, they stood together. In this sentence, here the past participle is ending in ed. We saw a tree laden with fruits. Here the word laden, it ends with en. He had flown the kite high. Here the word is ending with ed. The farmer has plowed the field. Here the word plowed is ending in ed. He heard the news. Here it is ending in d. So these are different examples of past participle. So you have to keep in mind past participle and present participle. Present participle, it denotes incomplete action and it is what? Just ing form of the verb. And past participle, it ends with T, D, N, En and Ed. Means in your exam, if they ask you, fill in the blank with suitable participle or fill in the blank with the present participle, so you have to use ing form of the verb. If they ask you to fill in the blank with past participle, then you have to use the past participle of the word. For example, like if we say fly, fly is the root verb and the second degree of that will be, the past tense of that will be what? Flew. And the third will be what? Flown. So it is the third degree, past participle. So that you have to keep in mind. They can also ask you to just identify the present participle or past participle in the sentence. So you should know what it is. Next one, gerund. Now usually in your exam when this question is asked, that fill in the blank with gerund or identify the gerund in the sentence, so students usually skip that question. So now it is very easy, you just try to understand gerund is nothing but a word which is used as a noun as well as verb in a sentence. A word which is used as verb as well as noun in the sentence is known as what? Gerund. Simple example of that is swimming is a good exercise. In this sentence, the word swimming is formed from the word swim. That is the main word, swim. And we have added ing to it. Ing to it. It is therefore a verb. It is what? It is a verb. The word swimming is a name of an action and it is also subject of the sentence. Now, it is the name of an action. It is a verb as well as it is the subject of the sentence here. Swimming means it is working as a noun also and it is working as a verb also. So the word swimming is therefore a verb and a noun and hence it is known as what? Gerund. Like now, just now what I told you, gerund is nothing but a word which is used as a verb as well as noun, means subject of the sentence. Then you can say it is what? A gerund. In your exam, they can ask you, fill in the blank with a gerund or identify the gerund in the sentence. So you should know that gerund is nothing but a verb as well as a subject of the sentence. Now, the gerund can be used in different kinds. Now, we are going to see uses of gerund. Now, gerund as a subject. Drinking is a bad habit. In this sentence, what happened? The word drinking is used as the subject of the sentence. Yes or no? And this word drink is verb and we are using ing to it. So, it is what? Gerund used as subject. Gerund as object. My sister was singing. Here it is used as object of the sentence. But it is what? A gerund. Because it is, you can say a verb as well as a noun. Gerund as an object of preposition. She is fond of singing. Here it is object of preposition. Singing. I have underlined the gerund here, singing. Gerund is compound. Gerund in compound nouns. Compound means what? We add two words. So see here, he bought a new walking stick. Here it is a compound word, but this particular word walking is a verb as well as noun in the walking stick. A particular thing. So it is used as a verb as well as noun in the sentence. So it is also, you can say, a gerund. So these are different type of uses of gerund. It can be used as a subject in the sentence. It can be used as the object in the sentence. It can be used as the object of preposition also in the sentence, and it can also be used as compound noun. Now see here, we will see exercise. Underline the non-finite verb and state its kinds. Now you know what are the three kinds of non-finite verb. The three kinds of non-finite verbs are what? Infinitive, participle. In participle we have two types, that is present participle and past participle, and the third one is gerund. Now when they ask you that underline the non-finite verb and you have to state its kind. So you should know what is infinitive, what is present participle, past participle, and what is gerund. How to identify them I have told you. Now we are going to do sentences for practice. Now come on, let's see. See here. Watching a drama is fun. In this sentence, the word watching, you can say, is gerund. Why it is gerund? Because it is a verb. It is used with ing, and here in this sentence, it is working as the subject of the sentence. It is a noun. So if it is a noun and as well as a verb, so you can say it is gerund. Now he succeeded in doing his work. Now in this sentence, the word succeeded is what? Past participle. And the word doing is what? a gerund. Now, hunting tiger is prohibited. In this sentence, hunting is verb as well as noun. So, it is gerund. I saw the tiger approaching. It shows incomplete action. The verb here approach is used with ing and it indicates incomplete action. So, it is what? Present participle. She had peeped out of the window it is, sorry. So here the word peeped is what? It is past participle of the, it is past participle here. The boy was caught for stealing. Now here the word stealing is used as verb as well as noun. It is working as noun in the sentence here. So it is gerund. I like to play. In this sentence the word to is used before the verb. So it is what? Infinitive. The problem being difficult, I could not solve it. Now here the word being is what? Present participle. That is absolute phrase. I told you being and having, they are known as what? Absolute phrase and they come under present participle. So in this way, they will give you sentence and they will ask you to identify the non-finite verb and you have to state its kind also. So you should know how to identify the non-finite verb in the sentence and how to state its kind. Now see the other exercise. Rewrite the following sentences as instructed in this. He also know that holding excess inventory was costly. Use an infinitive in place of the underlined word. The underlined word is holding. You have to use infinitive. As I told you just now, infinitive is nothing but to form of the verb. So how you will write the answer? He knows that to hold excess inventory will be costly. What you can say? He knows that to hold excess inventory will be or would be costly. When you enter the garden, you will be given a sack each. Use ing form of the underlined word. The word is enter. You have to use ing form. So what will be the answer? While entering the garden, you will be given a sack each. Or on entering the garden, you will be given a sack each. That will be your answer. Increased water level resulted in better yield. Pick out the past participle used as adjective. Now here they have given you that the past participle is there in the sentence and it is used as an adjective. You have to just pick out it. You have to just identify it. So what we will see, what we are going to do, we will read the sentence and we will see what is the past participle in the sentence. So increased water level resulted in better yield. So here the word increased is used as past participle and it is also used as adjective. Adjective means what? It is giving you more information about the water level, that it has increased. So you will just write your answer is increased. Now that he was doing only what anybody is capable of doing. You write functions of ing form. Now that he was doing of anybody who was capable of doing. Here the word doing is used as gerund. Though it is verb, it is doing the work of a subject in the sentence and it is so it is noun. So here you can say the function of the ing form is what? Gerund here. Having a telephone was a rare privilege. Use infinitive. Now what you have to do? You have to remove this ing. You have to write the verb in root form and you have to add to before it. So the answer will be to have a telephone was a rare privilege. What will be your answer? To have a telephone was a rare privilege. So in this way, the questions will be asked to you all in your exam. So you should know what are the non-finite verbs, how to identify them or how to convert them. Means how to transform them. Now from into means suppose in ing form or how to add ed to it, how to write the sentence into infinitive using infinitive. So you should know how to do it. For that you should know what is gerund, what is present participle, past participle and what is infinitive. So practice the sentences for this non-finite verb and you will never make a mistake here then. Thank you.